Have you ever wondered how some people can effortlessly attract attention and admiration? Have you ever wanted to easily attract and manifest your desires? I've always heard of the art of seduction, but I never really understood the power and the practicality of it until recently. If Cleopatra can use seduction to have people literally fight wars to get her throne back, and if Marilyn Monroe can use seduction to become an absolute Hollywood icon, then the sky really is the limit here as to what you can do and how valuable this skill really is. Welcome back to the Acre Playbook. Today we'll be talking about seduction as a practical life skill and referencing some popular work like The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene and explore why seduction is a powerful life skill that I think everyone should have. Personally, I don't think seduction is about unethical manipulation or deceit, which I think many people do mistaken it for, and is why so many people have a very negative view of the idea of seduction. It has been so sexualized and have been associated with a less honest and acceptable form of influence. Seduction is about being playful and it's about having fun. It's about authentic charm and irresistible confidence. It's about understanding the person you want to influence and becoming that person that can influence, and so it can be seen as a very practical and valuable life skill. Similar to the example that we used in the 48 Laws of Power episode, you can say that seduction is very similar to money. Like money, seduction is a tool that gives power and influence to those who have it, and how they decide to use it is what makes them good or bad. So in a way, you can say that it can only magnify who you already are. Just like money is a tool, seduction is neither good or bad, just a skill that will amplify who you already are and get what you want more easily. And so, with that said, let's explore The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, which he breaks down into two main components, the seductive character and the seductive process. We'll use the same framework as a blueprint for this episode to explore how you can leverage your own seduction styles to deepen your influence in all types of relationships. Part 1. The seductive character. The first section is identifying your seducer archetype. The author outlines several types of seductive characters or archetypes, each with distinct strengths. Each archetype uses unique qualities to captivate others and qualities that many of us naturally possess but might not fully realize. Some of the most popular seductive archetypes in the books are 1. The siren. The siren captivates with an irresistible allure and confidence, using beauty and sensuality to create an immersive, almost dreamlike attraction. Their powerful femininity overwhelms the senses, drawing others into their worlds of pleasure. The second archetype is the charmer. The charmer seduces through warmth, attention, and social grace, making others feel special and valued. Their approach is subtle but welcoming, using attentiveness and wit to create an atmosphere of delightfulness and ease. And the third archetype is the rake. The rake embodies raw desire, passionately pursuing their target with intent, focus, and confidence. They're daring, they're rebellious, and unafraid to break rules, creating an exciting allure that is just hard to resist. And the last archetype that we're going to be discussing is the coquette. The coquette masters the art of push and pull, creating intrigue by alternating between allure and distance. This elusive approach keeps others captivated, drawn to the mystery and anticipation that they create. Personally, I think I resonate most with the charmer. My parents always joke that as long as I have my mouth, I can never starve because I have a way with people. And I used to take that so personally because I thought that they meant that I like to suck up to people. But I came to realize that it's something I can actually take pride in. I pay attention to detail and I will always lead with compliments and make people feel good. And so I encourage you to think of what qualities come naturally for you and even take inventory of how people around you describe you and what they say about you, as understanding your natural strengths and leaning into it is the first step to using seduction in a truly authentic way. And the second half of this section is talking about the victims. Just like there are seducer archetypes, there are also target archetypes. It's important to understand the person that you are trying to influence and then making the decision on whether or not you can or even want to play into their desires. Understanding your target is about empathy and connection. It's what makes seduction or influence so effective. Some of the most popular target archetypes are 1. The innocent. The innocent is naive, trusting, and seeks excitement or an escape from their daily routine. They seek a guide to introduce them to a world of intrigue and adventure. The second target archetype is the hopeless romantic. The hopeless romantic is idealistic. This person is deeply emotional and captivated by passion or fantasy. They seek someone who embodies their vision of a quote unquote perfect love. The third is the nurturer. The nurturer is empathetic, giving, and draws to those who they believe that they can help or heal. They seek someone who is vulnerable or is in need of care to fulfill their savior complex. And the fourth is the rebel, who is independent, skeptical of authority, and just drawn to danger. They seek someone who validates their rebellious nature and offers excitement. Just like in marketing, identifying and understanding your target's needs and desires is not about manipulation, but rather is about creating a connection. Taking this YouTube channel as an example, right? I know my audience is geared towards women, and so I understand that the content that I share needs to be aligned with what you want in order to make this channel successful if I want to have that connection with you guys. And so seduction, when viewed through this lens, can be so incredibly valuable as a skill that can improve all types of personal and professional interactions. And so with that said, let's dive into the second part of this episode, the seductive process, which the author breaks down into 4 phases. The first phase is stirring interest and desire. A key difference between seduction and influence is that influence requires you to play into desires. What is it that you want, and are you willing to go after it? What is it that they desire, and can you play into it? The second phase, make it emotional. There is that saying that people can forget what you say, but they will always remember how you make them feel. And so by creating an emotional connection, it will make others feel more invested in the unique connection that you have created between you guys. The third phase is building tension. Tension isn't always bad. It keeps possibilities open. And so by keeping that quote unquote maybe alive, it adds excitement. So don't rush into things. You can always take your time with it. In phase 4, the final phase, devouring the prey. And so to be clear, the author does not mean this physically or literally, but rather embodies the idea of cementing the relationship and making yourself unforgettable even in absence. Even though we kind of broke seduction down into a framework, I think it is still important to note that there is no fixed formula. Seduction is highly intuitive and varies from person to person. What might work for one person may not work for another. There is no one-size-fits-all type of fixed formula. Like Robert Greene says, seduction is like an art in the sense that it can be taught, but in order to fully master it, you need to give it time and make it your own. Everyone has their own unique style and approach to seduction, reflective of their own personality, strengths, and charm. And so I hope this episode helps you see how seduction is so much more than the over-sexualized definition of it. It is a very valuable and practical life skill to learn, and I highly encourage you mastering it because I do believe that it leads to self-confidence, and self-confidence leads to success in all areas of your life. Use it to attract your desires and manifest your dream life. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode. I hope to see you in the next one, and in the meantime, as always, stay hot. Bye!